It's dragon time! So for those of you who don't know, I am a very, very, very big fan of How to Train Your Dragon. Hello! Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes, my girl. There you go. I'm a fan of the movie series. I'm a fan of the book series. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a fan of the 8-season TV show that most people don't even know about. And I am ready to be a fan of this live action. Actually, I really don't know that I'm going to be a fan of this movie. So this vlog is all about How to Train Your Dragon. First, we're going to talk about how and why I came to read the original series and why you should too. Then this vlog is going to feature me reading 2 new dragon books. And finally, it's going to conclude with my review of the live action movie, which I see on Friday, the day it comes out. And yes, I will be wearing the full toothless for the film. Now, the reason I said I may not be a fan of the live action film is because I'm not a fan of live action films as they are. Live action films... Live action films are problematic in a number of ways. First, they tend to imply that the original wasn't good enough. We need to make it into like a real film to make it serious, which is just disrespectful to the art form of animation. And yes, it is an art form. 2, live action films take away from new films. Like, yes, I very much believe that studios should stop being cowards and just, putting money into franchises they know that are popular and take a risk on some new scripts, new writers. Like, please, we want new content. And I've heard vague reviews. It's not even reviews. I've just watched the previews for this movie. And while it's incredible that they've gotten some of the same voice actors from the animated films for the live action film, I'm really excited to see how that works out. It's really obvious that the acting is not good. And I saw one review that said, listen, I don't blame the actors. They clearly were getting notes from a director to be more deadpan. And it's very, forced. And you can see that even in the trailer. So I'm going in with a lot of reservations and hesitations. All that being said, the one thing, I saw someone talk about this the other day, about how, yes, live action films are problematic for a number of reasons, but they also do something that is really hard to achieve otherwise. They bring new life to a fandom. They resurrect everyone's love of these stories, these characters, these films. They bring new audiences to these movies who might not have accessed them in the same way, especially the way streaming services are these days. Like, oh, if you just don't have this one, you'll never watch this movie, kid. And I mean, you can tell just with these new books, like there is new audiences, there's new money pouring into the How to Train Your Dragon world. There's demand for new stories and more content. Not to mention, the Epic Universe world just opened with one land being Berk, the island from How to Train Your Dragons, and the characters and the engagement are just so fun. It's like watching a new episode of a TV show every day, the way these characters walk around the park and engage so true to their characters. It's so much fun and incredible. And also to add to the fun, Cressida Cowell, the author and illustrator of this amazing series, just joined TikTok. So in amongst seeing videos from Florida and people interacting with these characters in real life, to, clips from the film, to people dressing up in costume to go to the film, it's just a celebration of joy and dragons. And so I can't totally hate on the live action film. Actually, speaking of new life and new demand, this is going to be a bit of an unboxing video before we jump into why anyone should ever read this giant 12 plus books now. Before we get into all of that, I'm going to open these that I bought because I couldn't not. They are mini plush figurines from the How to Train Your Dragon movie. They even have the toothless symbol on there, and they look like pretend hand carved. And I am a sucker for anything that is like a surprise, not knowing which one you're going to get. So I think there's like about 5 of them that you can get. And I already own a big Toothless plushie. I also own, scratch that, I own multiple Toothless plushies. I also, if you were admiring my beautiful mosaic over here, I've been so, desperate for any kind of merchandise content, anything, besides my wonderful Toothless onesie, that I asked one of my very talented coworkers to make me this mosaic. And it's beautiful, and it's the most precious thing I own, and it will definitely, if I ever have children one day, be the first thing in the new nursery. But anyways, I'm really hoping, I have a couple, honestly, I'd be happy with any of them, but if I get a Toothless, I'm going to lose my mind. But we'll see who we get. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. Look at that. Okay, so this is a monstrous nightmare. And Mimi's very excited. This is the dragon ridden by Snotlout in the series, and this is the one that can like set itself on fire. And he's not always my favorite, but look how cute. Look how cute he is. Okay, box number 2. If a lot of people get mad if they get duplicates, but honestly, then I'm just like, well, look, I have twins. And Mimi's very excited. She's actually a big fan. I don't know if you can see her from here, but Mimi is a big fan of cardboard. I don't know why. Or like just nice paper. She likes to chew on my reading challenge. Do you want this? What if I make it smaller? Do you want this? Yep. Go ahead. This is yours. Okay, but here's number 2. See if we get twins. Or who else are we gonna get? I got Toothless! Oh my goodness, look at him! How exciting, it's a baby Toothless! Okay, I'll admit now I really want the set. But these tiny dragons are actually especially fun and appropriate because in the original books, this series right here, Toothless is about the size of a house cat. Most of the dragons, he's the smallest of everyone's dragons, but most of the dragons that big, they're like the size of cats. Like a Maine Coon would probably be the largest size, and that's actually the monstrous nightmare. Now you're probably wondering, like, what do you mean? The Toothless is this big? No, Toothless. They're supposed to ride on dragons. How does this work? And honestly, when they announced the live action film, I got really excited because I thought, oh my God, the movies and the books are so different. They could do a live action film of the book and make it so different and still resurrect the series and do all this. And of course they didn't. They just did like a word for word, almost shot for shot at times, version of the movie. Again, I still haven't seen it. I will by the end of this video. So how I came to read these books was that I loved the movie so much that I said, I gotta try the books. So I read the first one. This is a nice anniversary edition. And I was not delighted by them. I wasn't that excited. There's a lot of boyish humor. There's boogers, there's grossness. Toothless likes to poo everywhere in the house. He's like a badly behaved cat. And it's all about Hiccup, scrawny little Hiccup, son of the chief, who doesn't follow any of the rules of like how to be a Viking. And so it's all about Hiccup failing at essentially Viking school over and over again because he's scrawny and empathetic. And like for example, poetry is illegal for Vikings and someone is caught writing poetry. Dun, dun, dun. And it's all about being yourself and being different, even if yourself is someone who has to deal with this very naughty little dragon named Toothless. And so I read the first book and I wasn't excited. I wasn't that impressed. It was kind of gross and I wasn't going to continue the series. But then I discovered that the audiobooks for How to Train Your Dragon are all read by David Tennant. Now, if you don't know David Tennant, I don't know what you're doing with your life. He has been Doctor Who. He was on Broadchurch. He was in Good Omens. He's just brilliant. He's so good, and he's such a wonderful, kind person. And he's also Scottish, and he's very proud to be Scottish. And he reads the entirety of this book series in his Scottish accent. He does many accents, actually, but he so rarely gets to actually be his Scottish self that it's a joy. And I would have him read me the phone book in his native accent. It's beautiful. And so because he narrated the books, I decided, okay, I'll give him another try. And then I was like, yeah, okay, that was a fun time. I enjoyed the second one a little bit more. So I went to the third one and I was like, okay, this is starting to, okay. And as you go, it starts to build on top of itself. Themes get darker, like shit gets real in this children's book series. By the end, Hiccup literally is fighting against every single dragon and every single Viking in the archipelago besides his own two. He has the dragon he rides and Toothless, his little hunting dragon. Besides the two of them, literally everyone. At one point, his mother has been hired as his bounty hunter. All of this is because he was involved in the middle of the book in the slave trade. Okay? He's not himself involved in the slave trade. He helps rescue some slaves, but in the process, he himself gets marked with the slave mark. And it's just like, this is meant for children. This is meant for like children age, I don't know, 7 to 12. Not to mention the second to last book. I was sat up here, I was painting bookshelves and I had the audiobook going and I was crying my eyes out because of an apology a character makes. I don't want to spoil it, but literally, I felt like people from my own life who had been mean to me in childhood were apologizing to me. It was so healing. It was so just beautiful. And all of that, you know, you go through the whole series, it builds up incredibly, the way the plot intertwines. It's as good as, the series that will not be named, Harry Potter. It's as good as that, with like all the little things. Then you can go back and be like, oh, that was mentioned in this book. Oh, that was mentioned in this book. It's brilliant. And I really can't recommend it enough. It is the weirdest little series. I mean, it's not little, but I know so few people who have actually taken the time to read the books, and they are missing out. There's songs, there's fun, it's a riot. So with all that excitement and anticipation, I hope at the very least, even if you're not going to read the series or go look up David Tennant, I hope you're excited to see me read these 2 new books. This one is a compilation of short stories that Cressida has written over the years for the series, but I haven't read it yet, so I'm very excited. And then this one is brand new. Again, I think it's because the movie has built up the demand for the series that she can do new ones. And I'm hoping it seems to be a new start of a new series, How to Train Your Dragon, Dragon School. So let's go. Okay, I was not expecting this book to throw me so headfirst right back into my love for the books, not just the series, but the books. Each story was better than the last. The first, you're like getting back in the groove of things and you're like, oh yeah, these characters are fun. Oh yeah, these messages are great. And then the second one, from Toothless's point of view, was adorable and so sweet and just made you just love it so much. I loved it so much. And then the third one just came out of nowhere with Cressida Cowell bringing in hot Hiccup. Like, he looks exactly like grown-up Hiccup from the films. In the books, in the original series, you only see him reach like age 13, 14. And so I was not expecting that just to come out of nowhere. It's very reminiscent of Enola Holmes, the Enola Holmes series. She wrote 5 books and then was like, yeah, I'll go back to them one day, maybe. But when they made the Netflix film, she went back and started writing them again, and they reflected more the content of the movies. Like, she brought back the Viscount character, even though in the books he wasn't as big of a deal, but he was the romantic hero in the films. And that's what seems to be happening here too, is this interplay, this relationship, this back and forth between the films and the book series of like, how do you combine these two things that are actually very distinctive stories but have this unique tie? And I'm very excited to see where this goes. So this was published in 2024. She says, join me again for book 13. So I'm not sure if that's what this is supposed to be. And then they just decided to change the title from like How to Train Your Dragon 13 to How to Train Your Dragon School. Are we going to get more grown-up Hiccup? Is this a new series that's going to see him come of age and grow into that tall, handsome young man we see in this little short story? I don't know, but I am ready for it. Cressida, whatever you're going to throw at us, I am ready for it. Alas, there was no more hot Hiccup. This book, The Doom of the Darkwing, actually takes place right in the middle of the series, right after book 6 and before book 7, which is when things really start to get intense. And I was not entirely surprised, but still a little surprised that by the end of the book, you realize she is building up to continue a plotline story that she started in a short story that you could only get in the 20th anniversary edition of How to Train Your Dragon, which I found as a stroke of luck while I was in London. This was the last one in the store. It was a signed copy. I had to get it. And I had to get it because it had the exclusive story, and I really wanted to read more. But I'm really surprised because the exclusive story, it wasn't in the anthology that I got. So, if you got to the end of The Doom of the Darkwing, you'd be like, what are these chess pieces? What do they have to do with anything? And honestly, I still don't know what they actually have to do with. But yeah, so I still don't know if this counts as How to Train Your Dragon book 13, or if it's like 6.5 or like 6.1, if there's going to be like multiple ones. So you guys, oh my God. Oh God. Okay. Yes, I did go to the movie like this, like an icon. I've just come back from the movie, dressed like an icon. Yes. I got lots of compliments. Hello. I got lots of compliments, and it's just fun to be like, wow, just being myself makes other people smile. Anyways. And yeah, the movie was great. It wasn't just great, honestly. It was a movie that like you walk out and you're like, I was already ready to book tickets for another showing, because you walk out and you're like, that was a movie worth seeing in theaters. I feel like we don't think about, like, we do think about that these days because now everything just goes right to streaming. But the How to Train Your Dragon live action is a movie worth seeing in person, in a theater, in 3D. I saw it in 3D and it was so good. But it just, the volume and the coming at you and the score. Listen, I am John Powell's biggest fan. If John Powell has no fans, then I am dead. Like, I am John Powell's biggest fan. He wrote the score for the How to Train Your Dragon movie. And so I've seen this movie so much. I recognized every single second of that score and which little moments they added in. And they were so good and they were brilliant and they were so fun. Like, just of the score that they added in. My only critiques, it's kind of like 3-ish, were that my only critiques were there were a few lines from Hiccup that could have been delivered differently. And that is just because I think they were delivered so well in the animated film and just with the perfect, like, hilarity beat, like for humor, that when they weren't delivered exactly the same way, you just kind of picked up on it. Or maybe I've just seen the movie too many times. Toothless's animation, it just felt odd. Because the other dragons were just like the other dragons looked like straight out of Jurassic Park, but with wings. And Toothless felt like an animated movie brought to life. So he could have been a little more rough around the edges, but he's Toothless. That's the other thing a lot of people don't realize. Like, these movies are for kids. They're meant to be friendly for kids. So it's okay if Toothless looks a little more harmless than practical would have it. And then for some reason, my other critique is just I can't picture the twins as redheads. And they're redheads in the movie. And I just can't get on board with that. And I don't know why. Now, before I sign off and go look for more dragon books, because now I just need more dragons. I don't want a whole other dragon franchise, because people I know will recommend Wings of Fire to me. They already have. I don't want a whole dragon franchise. I don't want Fourth Wing. I don't need that, guys. I just want dragons. And the Impossible Creatures book that I picked up, that one, the dragons are kind of side characters. I want dragons, guys. Oh, I have another dragon book. Huh. Dragon Pearl. I wonder if there are actual dragons in this. I have another book that my microphone's sitting on. This one also has actual dragons in it. But anyways, just keeping count. I bought a book today because I was really stressed at work. And I was running a bunch of errands for work. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to buy this book here. I also bought more of these. So now I really have the collection I wanted. I have the Deadly Natter. This is Stormfly. Hello. Come on. I got to tell you, so many of Toothless's expressions in the movie, I was like, that's my dog. That's my dog's face right there. They nailed it. That is exactly what my dog looks like. And then this is the Gronkle. Meatlug is her name, if you know. But she's the only one whose coloring really changed from the animated film to the movie, which is just so interesting. And I also bought the whole kit and caboodle. Oh, I also had the mug. I'll have to show that to you after. So I got this. So this was, you buy the set because I needed the Toothless, and you'll see why. So you get a cute little mug. You stick your straw in there, and they'll give you a paper cup so you don't have to spoil this at the theater and get it all messy. And you get to pick which dragon topper you want. So that was fun. I picked Stormfly. I love her. And then the popcorn bucket is a bucket. It's metal. It's beautiful. It's beautiful on the inside. Those are the very similar to Cressida Cowell's artwork in there. It's really beautiful. Don't know what the heck I'm going to use it for, but I had to get it because of the Toothless, which while we were watching the film, I very much was doing this and stuff. There was no one sitting behind us. But his wings are magnets, so you can turn them into a bracelet or strap them on a bag strap. And I was like, and just look at him. Just look at him. I needed him. I didn't, but it's been a long week, guys. There's been a lot of things going on all the time. The world is a dark place. Oh my God, he sticks to the bucket too. And then you can also get the grog mead cup, and my friend very kindly got that for me. So that was wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope you love dragons as much as I do, and I hope you're willing to give the How to Train Your Dragon franchise a try, whether that's books, audiobooks, or movies, animated films, the TV series, or just, I don't know, just the world needs more dragons. These glasses, I made these new, and they say, life is short, but dragons are forever. And, yeah. Go treat yourself to something fun and lovely this week.